Hello, I'm NBG and welcome to the channel. Today's video I think I'm going to title So You Want to Craft for Profit. And what we're going to do here today is really just discuss where crafting for profit is right now in the current state of Dragonflight. It is neither insanely good at this exact moment or insanely bad either. It is in between. And I just kind of want to talk that out, maybe give some people some motivation to stick with it. Okay? So, with that being said, let's just get right into it. First of all, I'm just going to kind of talk as I'm going through my daily routine on different characters and just, get some of my thoughts out there. One of the things that I consistently hear is that, there's woe is me, there's not any profit, any profit in crafting right now. I've given up, it's too frustrating, it's too much work. There's a lot of things that go into it, and I kind of just want to discuss that. First of all, there's different types of players in the game, right? If you're somebody who, like myself, I don't really want to ever go out and farm or do, okay, so I don't want to go out and gather and I don't want to go out and farm. I very much prefer to make my gold via crafting. Doesn't really matter how much it is, I would much prefer to craft than go out and farm, right? Now, you can do this whether or not you're, I wouldn't say casual. I don't think crafting is really for super casual players, but you can do this on different budgets, right? You don't have to be a multi-millionaire in the game to be able to make profits crafting. There's a lot of smaller crafts and there's a lot of smaller things that you can do. I'm doing one of them right now because I always do it, is just keeping up on my Crimson Combatant gear. Even at these small margins, there's still profit. They still fly off the shelf, right? Like I've talked this to death. There are things out there that everybody can do to make some sort of gold. With that being said, we're all different types of players. Let's give you an example. Like my buddy of mine, I would consider him a super goblin. Super goblin to me is somebody who has like 250 plus million gold. He is that 1%er. And to him, his end game is about making gold. He is set up in a way with his professions, arguably so am I, to where if I want to make profits, I will always be able to make profits. Always. I always have something I can do to make profit. It all comes down, and same thing for him. He always has something he could do to make profit. It all comes down to, is it worth your time or not? For him, that is his end game. It is his enjoyment. As the gold per hour goes down, he's still going to keep going. But there becomes a point where I quit doing it because I find other things more enjoyable at that point. I would rather go do Mythic Plus, I'd rather do PvP, I'd rather go do something else. Like, I can't say exactly in my head where that threshold is. It really depends on, different points in time of like where the game's at, of like how much gold per hour do I know I can get right now, versus, right? Like there's a lot of variables that go into it. My only point is, for him, that is his end game. He can always make gold. It might not be super insane, like super duper insane every single hour, but for him, he's going to stick with it longer than I am. For me, if it's not really obvious good gold, I am totally happy with the amount of tokens I have and the amount of gold I have, that I'd rather go do other things. And you could be in a similar situation. I was talking to him about, like, for instance, you could be somebody who your stuff ends at the end of the weekend, your sub, and you need to go out and you need to make 150k now. Like, that's a different circumstance, right? Like, that's totally different. So telling that person that there's no ability to make gold right now, like, that's just not true. There is. It's just, the gold per hour or how much work you put in might not be what you want. But the only point I'm trying to make is that as much as crafting right now specifically isn't uber insane, it's not exactly bad either. And it really comes down to a day-by-day basis for me specifically. There's always something I can craft for profit. It's just a matter of, is it worth my time and effort? Now, you might only have one or two professions, which can be pretty limiting, right? If you only have engineering, if you only have, pick any two professions. If you only have a couple professions, yeah, you can get on one day and look and go, wow, there is nothing worthwhile for me here today. I guess I don't make gold, or I just go do something else, and that can be a bit deflating. I guess what I'm really trying to get at is don't let poor gold, when you go to look, if the gold per hour isn't that good, or if you don't think you can make what you thought you could, or whatever the case, don't let that deflate you. If what you want to do is make gold through crafting, keep working at it. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, just look at something that happened, I think, earlier today. So here's something basically today, or very, very recently, that you guys all probably know about, but I'll just talk about it here. Bring up the Wowhead article, just going over changes in the game, and this here just talking about adding the glowing Titan orbs, and basically increased drop rate. They're more abundant, so on and so forth. Long story short, they're more abundant, right? If they're more abundant, that means more hitting the market. More hitting the market, the price starts to shoot down. Go in game and bring that up, and you see the glowing Titan orb. Heck, I can just scroll over it here, and if you look at the market value of like 7.3, region market average of about 8.1, but like look at what they're at now. They're at like 1400 gold. At least there's a bunch at like 1400 gold right now. And that's what happens. Changes happen, and those changes can be numerous different things. Look at the market this week for rousings. You had that world quest available where people do 2x4s to get like different rousings and things, and a lot of the prices of like any awakened gems, a lot of them went down massively, specifically like air, from where it was. An order is obviously like less than half of what it was even just last week, I think. And those kind of things happen. Different things in the game can spark that, such as the world quest I'm talking about, or something like a hotfix to the glowing orbs. But that doesn't just affect that market. That affects the enchants, which I just got on. So I haven't even looked at what that really means for the enchant market right now. So let's just take a look at one of our favorites, Sophic Devotion. You're talking about something that had a market value of like 80k. Like they went way higher than that, and then all of a sudden it's selling at 42k overnight, basically. Now that's not even necessarily a bad thing, because it doesn't matter how much an item sells for, it matters how much profit's there. Unfortunately, I'm not into the enchant market because I've focused on other things. Other things have kind of fallen to me for making gold, so I'm a little bit behind. I'm actually really close, but I'm a little bit behind on like those markets, specifically that, and gems for that matter. Now, I will have to talk to my buddy who's really big in the enchant market to see if he's making big gold today or not. I don't technically know. The only point I'm trying to make is changes happen, and they happen more frequently than you think. It could be a world quest, it could be just a small hotfix, it could be anything that kind of changes the pricing of where things are. And again, as a gold maker, I don't care if I have to spend 1,000,000 gold to make gold. All that matters is how much profit am I going to get, and is that profit worth the investment? That's all that matters to me. That's all I care about. I'm assuming that's all a lot of you care about as well. Can I gain a big profit, for the amount of effort or gold I have to put into it? Everyone who wants to make profit through crafting needs to stay on top of their professions, and that's hard. Me, for instance, I have no ability with the amount of time I have to play to keep up on all of my professions. I do the best I can, I get as much done as I can, and a lot of my professions fall a couple points short from what they should have basically every week, because I can't help it. There's only so much time, and there's too many damn professions. And what I'm talking about is doing your dirts, getting your skill points, doing your quests. I have a couple on this character I have to do. It's a good example. Doing your quests, doing your dirts, getting your enemy drops that are up here in the corner. I'll probably put that weak aura down in the description. I've also made a video about it in case you guys were wondering. But do those things. Stay on top of them, because you never know when something might become worthwhile to do. Another great example to that is engineering. I didn't think was super insane early on, and I think engineering is really starting to pick up some steam. And there is smaller crafts in there, even just like the bolts and stuff. That there's all of a sudden I'm seeing profits in there. Maybe it's not enough for me to do, maybe it is, but the point being is things change, and right now, being that almost all this stuff is done on the region wide, it is volatile and it changes day by day. For instance, a part of my daily routine, as I'm getting on and I'm going through my different tunes, and I'm going through all my different professions, and I'm reposting and blah blah blah, making the things I know I'm gonna make, so on and so forth. I'm always jumping on and just taking a look using Craft Sim, and I'm kind of going through and I'm trying to see what is worthwhile to me for that day, which I don't know why this is being weird. This should be much higher than this. I think it's because I have 3 of the T1s on me, but regardless. And I come through here and I take a look, and I go through specifically like the ones that are, oh, actually here's a fantastic example. Blue Silken Lining. I guess I will probably be making some of these today. What was it, Tuesday or whatever that I looked? It wasn't profitable, or at least it wasn't profitable enough for me to do it. Right now, if this is right, which again, I only take this at a glance, I do research myself real quick and just verify, right? I want to verify myself that this kind of stuff is profitable. You know, I go through all these potential crafts and I take a look at it and I go, okay, is this really worthwhile for me to craft right now? And, you know, if it is, which this does look like it definitely is for me, if it is, then I'm like, cool, I'm doing Blue Silk Lining today. Is this a normal thing that I make? Nope, but I've always had this ready to go for it, just in case it was. I've only ever crafted these one time when I thought it was worthwhile. Right now, at this kind of profit, definitely going to be worthwhile for me to do. But that goes for everything. That goes for anything that you know that sells. What's another good example? Okay, here's one. Probably not the character to show it on. I have other characters who can do this better. But like just taking vibrant Wildercloth, taking, hell, even Wildercloth. It doesn't matter what it is. Like this character doesn't have all the multi-craft and all that kind of stuff. But taking any one of these even smaller things and just saying, hey, is this profitable right now? And if it's good enough, then jumping on it. And I do this consistently. Just like when I go through my Crimson Combatant gear and I'm recrafting. If for some reason it's showing negative profit, guess what? I don't craft it. Not a big deal. I'll craft it tomorrow if it's available. Same thing goes for, like I said, the Blue Silken. Those are definitely profitable right now. I probably want to jump on those and see if I can't sell a good batch. And that's the other thing. Early on, when everybody needed everything, I was selling a ton, so I would make a ton. I probably wouldn't do that with Silken Lining. I would do like a big batch, sit here, try to push it out and get my profit, and then if it went really well, maybe I would do more. But if it was a little harder for me to push the sales, whether it's because of competition or just the amount of not enough people buying, then I would maybe bag it after that, right? And that's kind of how I approach it, and that's how I suggest everybody approach it. You can't jump on here every day and expect like, oh man, I've always made gold with frozen spell thread. I've always made gold doing it. It doesn't mean it's always going to be profitable. Things change. Things change every single day. Things change. Like for on my server, for instance, the Simply Stitched reagent bag is usually like maybe 20 gold profit, and I am sure as hell not going to craft anything for that low of profit. It's just not worthwhile to me. However, this, yeah, I might go make 10 bags or something, some small amount just to have it available, right? So that's my point. My big point is you got to keep up on things because you don't know when things are going to change. You want to be ready for when change happens. And secondly, you just have to jump on every day and take a look at your options. Some days you might think that you're going to be crafting and you realize that you can't. Happened to me on Tuesday. Today, I'm looking and I'm seeing a couple items I've seen since I've been on that I'm like, looks like I might be spending an hour or two here crafting while I have time to make some profit. There's a couple TLDRs we can have for this video, really. But one of the major things is just don't fret it. don't fret the crafting not being profitable, because it's not always the case. There's a couple things that go into that. One, there's too many damn crafters. Too many damn crafters supplying to the market, and then margins get pushed super, super low. We've all seen that. We've all seen that over the last couple weeks. Certain items where, like, the margins get to be damn near nothing, or they're flat out in the negative, and if you wanted to craft that item, you just can't for profit. You just can't. You have to wait. That happens. That's a part of the market flow. Don't let that get to you. Just stay on top of your professions, stay on top of your quests, stay on top of your treaties, stay on top of your, getting your treasures. Just stay on top of it all and check back often. Keep ahead on the news. Watch this channel to keep ahead on some news, even though I don't get to it as fast as other people because I just can't do that. But stay on top of the news of what's going on. Notice that the glowing orbs have been hotfixed and they're dropping more frequently. Start paying. If you're in that market that uses them, pay attention to the market. Is this good for you right now? Are you able to make profit off of this if you're pushing, enchants hard? Which, again, I don't technically know if that was viable in the last 12 hours or something, but it wouldn't be surprised if it was, if you could snag some, at a cheap enough price and then quickly try to push out those enchants before they fell too fast. Like, that could have been an option, and I'm sure somebody probably took advantage of it, right? That's the entire point. Is, as I'm looking and I come over and look at my handy dandy fang armament, adornments, which I'll remember forever for literally making me a gold cap in a week. Like, fang adornments, I will always remember them. And even right now, this is great profit. If I immediately look and I go, holy crap, fang adornments at 4.7k, ouch. 3 weeks ago I sold them at 27k. Most of the ones I sold, I probably sold around 14.5, and then the last couple weeks I've been selling them between like 7.5 and like 9, and now all of a sudden they're less than half of that. Oh my god, woe is me. Hell no, not woe is me. I was crafting them at like 2,500 gold per craft, and now they're down, this is telling me that they're down to like 970 gold per craft. 970 gold per craft, that's like nothing. When the Fang Adornments T3 sells for, almost 5k. And when I have everything going, I have like 36% or something in inspiration. It is very profitable for me right now. And that goes for, toxic armor patches. Those are kind of, I'm not going to go craft them at that profit. But like, wow, fierce. This one isn't normally profitable. And if this is correct, that's actually pretty damn good. Maybe I'll be making some of these today. Do I normally make these? No. But I have the ability to. I'm set up to do it. I've kept up on top of my crap. And today, it looks profitable. Going to earthens, this is much less than yesterday. I wouldn't craft these. Right? I know I'm saying a lot of the same things multiple times, really. But I'm just trying to get the point across, is you need to check back often and see what's going on. If you're into crafting, right? If this is too much work, staying on top of the quests, checking back religiously, if that is just way too much work, then you know what? I honestly feel that, especially every week that goes by, the gold per hour that you can get for doing basically, some of the big time farms or any sort of gathering is honestly good, right? Like, you can make your token pretty quick doing that kind of stuff. Maybe not as quick as me on a good day when I can, push out 1 or 2 an hour, but you can do really, really well at that kind of stuff. And it's honestly a lot less thought. So, more power to you. Thank you for watching today's video. It was really just me kind of talking about how I feel about the crafting market and just kind of where it is right now. We've all seen, because you've all been there too, I'm sure, and in recent weeks there's been some pretty low days where it's like, holy crap, crafting is starting to scare me. There's really not any profits there, and this is just a reassurance that it changes. And it can change for many, many, many different reasons, whether it's hotfixes, world quests as you've seen, or anything else, just in other competition being like, wow, this sucks, I'm going to stop crafting for a while, and then all of a sudden prices rise a little bit, you can take advantage of it. There's many, 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 many reasons that can go into all of a sudden having profits when you didn't yesterday. And my only point is, if all you want to do is craft for profit, don't worry about it. You just might not be able to do it every day. Check back often, stay on top of it, stay on top of the news, get your profession quest done, don't fall behind too much on that kind of stuff, and I think you'll do all right. Even if you only have a couple professions, you should probably do just fine. I'm actually really excited to go get started on my crafting today, because if that stuff is selling at a decent rate, there's a couple items I saw that are selling at some pretty good profit margins to where I'm quite excited to be crafting. So, anyway, if you got anything from my ramble, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see. Let me know what I can do better, which is a lot, to be honest. And let's just keep after it. Before I go, I would like to quickly thank our supporters. Everything has been fantastic. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're the reason why I'm making videos. So, you know, keep supporting me, and I'll hopefully keep trying to support you. I've been hopeful to find the next Fang armaments, to find the next Fang adornments, excuse me, to find the next thing that was like, oh my god, everybody go craft this, I made a bajillion gold. But it just, I don't think it's really a thing. It's just a lot of watching markets and taking advantage of changes and jumping on things when you see them. So I don't know if I'm going to have another video like those, like the shuffle early on, like those kind of things. It's like, boom, look what I found, everybody jump on this, it's insane. I don't know if that kind of stuff's really going to happen going forward. Now it's a little bit more of, I'm just constantly keeping an eye on things, and I just want to say you guys need to do the same. Tomorrow I do expect to stream at my normal time, around 7 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time to I don't know if it'll be to noon. It'll probably be a little shorter stream. Tomorrow we're celebrating my daughter's birthday, so we're going to be going out and doing that, which should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. But I do think I will stream in that early morning for a while. So if you'd like, come by, stop by, hang out, chat with me. We can talk gold making. We can talk other things. Maybe get some mythics or something rolling. I'll mention that I've been really into Mythic Plus recently. I'm learning how to tank, and that's been going well. Prot Warrior seems to be a bit OP, and that makes it pretty fun to play. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think the highest dungeon I've done is like a 7. I'm not exactly good, but it's been fun, and that's all that matters to me. I'm not trying to be the best. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. It is a game after all. So if you guys would like to hang out, stop by for tomorrow's stream, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.